Hello, welcome back to the Bricks Hub. Slight apology for the cable you can see here. This is just my headset which is connecting to my microphone. Hope that doesn't bother you for the review, but it'll just have to be there. So yeah, as you can see right here, this is the Evangelion Unit 1 mock that I've been working on recently. It's shown up in a few of my community posts, and it's been on the back burner for quite a while, but I finally managed to get it built physically. I did make a particularly large version of it, which I showed in my previous video. I'll put a link to it above. But the current one that I'm working on right now is this mid-scale one, mainly just because of how much more convenient and like workable the scale is, and I'm really happy with how it's turned out. So as you can see, one of the major changes I've made is just making the stamps a lot more accurate to how they are in the show. I've also included a lot more orange, and in general I think this looks a lot better than the previous version, which I'll just put up on screen now. I do have extra instructions for that, but I'd say disregard those from here on out, because there will also be instructions at the end of this video too. This is based on the original NGE, Neon Genesis Evangelion version of EVA Unit 1, but it's pretty similar to the rebuild one in the proportions and things like that, so you'll probably just want to replace this piece here, just pointing at it there, with green, the same like lime green colour, and there may be a few more orange pieces to attach to, if I can just focus on it, just this black piece here. You may want to replace that with an orange one, or maybe an orange stud or something like that. So just getting up close with the build, one of the things I'm most proud of in this update is how I managed to get the quite curved spine, like, you know, the stance of the Eva, to work out a lot better in this one. I've used a few hinge pieces, which you can just see if I take it in a bit here. If I just take it in a bit here, you can see I've used the wedges and hinges just to make a sort of curved sort of spine. Just going up a little bit, you can see the pylons, which I did for the shoulders. They're quite an iconic part of the design, and I'm really happy how I managed to get the green sort of triangle part just here to merge with the other side of it. And you can see there's two of these. I'll just angle it a little bit more so you can see it. These circular little upside down inverted things. They're actually there just for stability, and you can remove them. They weren't in the original design, but I personally just think that they're just better there for stability, and they kind of get lost in the dark, the black of the pylons, so you probably won't notice them too much. Going down to the legs, you can see that I've kind of worked around quite a thin structure for them. I'm surprised this all held together, but it does, and it works out quite well. And all the way down here to the ankles and the feet, they also ended up pretty good as well. The only slight problem is you can see the light grey, just some colour just kind of sticking out there a little bit. There was unfortunately nothing I could do about that. Originally I had a clip that was held on there, but it was just too light and it just ended up falling apart. So I think this is the most stable solution, but if that piece eventually comes in black, I don't think it is, and I don't think it ever will be, unfortunately, that would be great. And if you really do want to paint it, you're welcome to. I think that would actually look a lot better. But at the moment, you'll just have to kind of put up with this grey. But because there's a lot of grey on the build anyway, well, not a lot, but there's some sort of around there, it doesn't stick out as bad as I thought it would do. The foot was actually quite an intricate design that took me a while to work out properly, but I'm actually really happy with it how it is, and it's got the orange bits at the bottom, and it's still got, like, you know, the little green shoelaces part of it. I always thought they looked like trainers, which is kind of funny, but yeah, and it just clips on to the it just clips onto this joint here, and you've got a full range of motion, so you can do a lot of posing with it. Because one thing I really wanted to make sure with this mock was that it was posable. You could do lots of things with it, and I'm just gonna see if I can put it in an action pose now. Now, one more additional thing I did is I just put together this quick stand here. I'll also include this in the tutorial, maybe a more detailed or maybe a cleaner version of it. And what it has is you have some studs here for a minifigure. Maybe put his arms down. He's not having a mental breakdown yet. It's still early in the show, and you just put the feet of the Ava in these two sections. There's these two little clips down here. You can actually put them in any position really, so it means that you can do a little bit more with the posing if you want. Organize it all up a little bit, and then I'm gonna zoom us out. And there, you've now got a pretty dynamic pose. You could do like a lot with this sort of thing. You could get its arms out maybe, or it's doing a bit more of the football pose, I don't know. You could do a whole lot of things. I quite like it when the Ava leans over a lot like that. They really have that kind of intimidating stance, so I'm going to go with that and maybe put its arms out a little bit there. And then yeah, here's a stand you can get for it, and personally I think I prefer to display it on a stand like this because it means that if I am on a slippier surface like this one, I could do a lot more with it. Now of course this isn't to scale, unfortunately. A minifigure scale Ava would be quite a lot bigger, even larger than the one I showed in my previous build. So like I just wanted to make a pretty affordable and still, like, you know, easily accessible version of the build, because I want people to be able to build the stuff I'm showing off in my videos, not just, you know, watching them. So yeah, I hope you really like this build. This was something that's took me a while, and I'm really happy with the end product of. The instructions will be coming up soon, and all I want to ask is just, could you give it a like, subscribe to my channel, you know, share it around a little bit, even leave a comment if you have any suggestions for something else or any suggestions for the build, because all of that really helps out, and the YouTube algorithm is being a bit of a pain lately, so any support is greatly appreciated. Yeah, well, thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for the tutorial.